first issue was whether or not we needed IRB approval. And what that means is there's a thing called the Institutional Review Board, that anything that you deal with human subjects or participants, you have to go through to get your research approved. So we had to decide, is what we are doing research or not? And we did a lot of Googling things to find out if we needed it, and I really thought that we needed to. So then I've dealt with IRBs before, so I didn't think it was going to be that difficult. Going on MSU Mankato's website to see the IRB process was quite a process to have to do that. And so we met as a group to go through and see how we were going to do the IRB, and it was overwhelming. I was overwhelmed with how much we would have to do because the project needed to start. We needed to start these interviews, and if we needed IRB approval for them, we couldn't start the interviews until we got the IRB because that was not ethical. So looking at that, who knows when we would have gotten back our IRB. It might have taken up to 2 months. And we really didn't have 2 months to do this, especially because it's a semester-long project. So it kind of made my heart heavy. I was like, this is such a great idea, but now it looks like the IRB is just kind of screwing us over. Well, luckily, we found out that because we are posing this as an educational tool and we're not analyzing the interviews, we're not going into the interviews and looking at what they're saying and what they've had to go through. We're just interviewing them, empowering the women and the men who we interview, and it's really an educational tool. That's what it is, to show people what's going around in their society. So because it's that, we got permission from the chair of the department that we don't need IRB approval, because if this is an educational tool, we don't need IRB approval. So that was amazing. For anyone that's actually going to analyze their interviews, like right now, we can't because we didn't get IRB approval and it's not ethical for us to go back and analyze them. So right now, they're just an educational tool. If we wanted to do this project again, though, and actually analyze the interviews, we would need IRB approval. So that's just kind of keep in the back of your mind that if you're going to do a project like this and you want to look into the interviews and do some research with them, you're going to need IRB approval, and it's a big challenge. Don't do it alone either. Get with a group of people to do it, because there are a lot of things that you need to do to get the IRB approved. So yes, figure out what you're going to do as early as possible to see if you're going to need the IRB approval, because you have to really figure that into your timeline then, which is something that we were not anticipating. So it's really wonderful that we didn't need IRB approval for this.